Oh.
We're going live.
Oh, we're going
live. We're live.
Morning. Tis warm one. Tis warm one. Very much a warm one.
Scorchio, I think is what they say.
It certainly is. I'm just
It's going to be even more scorchio later. This is early.
Early scorchio.
Hey, and do you know how we know it's hot?
What?
You're in a frock. She's in a dress, everyone.
I did this to feel more comfortable, but I feel so uncomfortable in a dress that I don't know if I would just rather be in jeans. And just, you know.
I'm going to say if you were in jeans, you'd reconsider that very, very quickly.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, it wouldn't be pleasant. Wouldn't be your favourite thing, I can tell you.
It would not be anyone's favourite thing because I would moan.
You would
Non-stop. I would moan. Let's be honest about the situation. So this morning we have a beautiful duffel bag for you. You have to do 90 inches of handles and 5 rows of stitching on it. So I'm just preparing myself with a fresh new bobbin.
Lovely.
Because that's quite a lot of stitching. But happily, Gem, what do we have to solve our problems with that? The mini beast. We do have the mini beast. Which just, I'm not gonna lie, just eats it. Just goes, yeah, I'll have that.
I love a lovely long row of straight stitching, me. Am I in the minority?
No, it's quite satisfying.
It is.
And yeah, we were just chatting and
Especially rows. It's, you know, we've got to get them equidistant. I love it.
Oh, well, yeah, so this is the bag for you. And a lot of you have already started buying. I am really limited on stock of these. Okay, so if you see one that you love, please do buy it. The hardware for it, apparently 2-inch D-rings and stuff like that.
1.5.
Rare as, oh no, 1.5, sorry Jen.
1.5 inch.
Are rare as hen's teeth.
They are.
Is what I've discovered. So they are on order, but they're going to take a little while to get here. So if you are ordering, please be aware that it's going to be a couple of weeks until they're here, and then we will send them out to you. But you can get all your prep done in advance. So to that end, I used my Sally Tomato box when I made mine, and today this is it. This is the duffel bag. I just love this so much. It's such a good size.
It's a great size, isn't it?
And you don't need any H640, you don't need any interfacing, you don't need anything like that. So yes, you do need 2 meters of this, of your canvas, and 1 meter of your lining, but there's no interfacing. So you don't have that cost at all with this bag, which is fabulous. I, Gemma, will be using today instead my square end things, because I do not have...
You do not have the new ones.
They haven't arrived yet.
No.
But I do have a couple of swivel snaps. So if you've got one of the Sally Tomatoes, we've sold out of them now. We had one sitting around for ages.
We have.
There we go. That is my hardware there. Done. That's why it's always really useful, because otherwise I'd have been waiting. So this is the bag. It's not my design. It's not. I give full credit to the Ruby Star Society for this one. In fact, I don't know anywhere if it actually says the name of the actual designer.
I don't think it does.
No, it doesn't, does it? It
credits Rashida for her fabric.
Yeah, but it doesn't actually credit anybody for the actual thing. If you're buying one of the fabric bundles, we're going to pop that pattern in for free. It's a free out there, so you know you can go and find it for yourself. Gemma found it.
I did.
Don't know where Gemma found it, but she found
Smuggy McSmuggerson.
Yeah, and went, oh, Natasha, would you like to make these? And it was on the day that I agreed with Jane that bolt ends would be a really good idea, the bolt end sale. So Gemma was busily swearing at me, and I came out swearing at you, going, 90 inches of handles it needs. And she just looked slightly smugly at me. Now,
but it was fine, because you actually really enjoyed the 90 inches of handles. It's just one of those things that you go...
It was just when it... Well, yeah, it was the thought of it. No, I'm going to tell you the truth. It was the ironing of it in this heat. That was all. I've just got to finish off this bit, otherwise I'm going to forget. But otherwise, no, I really enjoyed it, because it meant I got to give... No, look at this. Whee!
You're such a child.
I am such a child, and I'm not going to apologise for it, even remotely. No. So it meant I got to play with all my toys, and I was very happy about the situation. So these will be the handles. Why are they so long? Because they go all the way under. They're rather fabulous. I'm just going to neaten off those ends. But I wanted to get some of this done so that my demo was not solely handles. But I will show you how to do them. But, if you read your Sunday newsletter, you will know that we have brand new fabrics launching for you today. Hooray!
We do.
And they're beautiful, and they're by Odile, and we love them because we love Odile.
We do.
And my eyesight, Gem, I think it's getting worse. Maybe it's the heat. Do eyes get worse in the heat? I don't know.
I think everything. You just get yourself in a muddle. Yeah. I love the heat, I'm not going to lie.
Do you?
Yeah, absolutely.
Does it just make everything feel a bit better for
you?
Yeah. Right, let's have a look at, I've got some of it, well, hang on. Bear with me, caller.
Oh, look at that array of colour.
It's only some of it. The rest is on its way.
It's exciting, isn't it?
Over here!
So this
we were sent these too early. We've been sitting looking at these going...
Sulking.
Yeah, because we couldn't bring them to air for you.
This is Odile's Land Art 2 collection.
Oof. Some of these are a little bit Christmassy. I spotted this morning. Do you want to see? Well, actually, Gem, do you know what? We haven't actually said hello to anyone yet this morning.
We haven't.
Let's
very
put my
rude.
Glasses back
Quite
on. See
remiss,
who's with
I
us.
say.
Quite rude. Right. Now then, let's have a little look. Where are you all? I've lost everybody. Where are we? Oh, Gemma, you know what this is going to be, don't you? So I can't find us again.
Hang on.
I don't know where it goes.
Hold your horses, I'll find it.
I don't know. Posts about
SJ
photos.
can see everybody. She's all good. I can see everybody too.
Can you?
Yes,
It's the new format. It doesn't.
I know, it's thrown you, hasn't it?
Completely. I don't know where to find my videos anymore.
I think we need, for you personally, to, click the I will watch the show link, and then it'll come up for you as a reminder. Oh, shall I read you some messages,
Yeah,
Tash?
do that, because I'm really lost.
Jojo Peach is with us. She says
Morning,
morning.
Jojo. We're looking at your quilt today, me and Jane.
We are.
That is
Lovely.
on the agenda.
Claire Angelina says morning. Natasha and Gemma. Lovely and warm today. I mean, yeah. It's going to be warmer. Sheltering under the duvet cover, gazebo is lined up for later. Oh, wow. Duvet cover gazebo. Very clever. Feet in the pool, she says. Feet in the pool. How nice.
That's...
Jane knows what she's saying. Jane Vivash. Phew, it's a scorcher. Keep cool, everyone, she says. Very exciting. We've got lots of people
found it!
with us.
Found it! Here we are!
There
Here we are! Here we are! That too. The Facebook changes, doesn't it? Every now and then, Facebook changes itself. There we go. I need to turn the sound down.
Yourself, do you?
No, never. Morning, Maud. Morning, Julia. Morning, Rebecca. Who's this? Anna? Loved all the cottage views. Loved the prosperity.
So I was holding off reading that one. I thought this is a nice one for you.
Yeah. So I need to apologise first of all because I am covered in paint today. I keep finding bits of paint.
Lovely.
In all sorts of different places. So yeah, if you spot some, I found some. I don't know where.
Beautiful.
I've been painting my new home. Yeah, gave me a bit of a headache. Morning, Maud. Morning, Julie. Morning, Rebecca. We said that. Morning, Anna. Morning, Bridget. Morning, Tina. Morning, Debbie. Oh, she's my happy mail arrived from you. So busy stroking fabric in front of a fan. Don't blame you. Really don't blame you at all. Angelina, hold your horses. Well, you do have quite a few. Yes, maybe.
I think that's fair.
Maybe. I met the local farmer whose little face lit up when I said how many horses I was bringing.
Aww.
And that I would be requiring hay.
Yes.
Oh, Philip wants you to ring her, Jimala.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. When you've got me.
Arranged, yeah.
Morning, Nikita. Morning, Barbara. Morning, Colette. Morning, Linda. Morning, Wendy. Oh, an early dog walk and now chilling. Do you know, my dogs don't want to go out at all. It's way too hot for big dogs. Morning, Joe. Morning, Carrie. Morning, Leslie. Evening. Oh, yes, evening. Watching on YouTube, sitting in front of the heater. Freezing cold here in Australia. There you go. There you go. Morning, Debbie. She's morning, everyone. Not stopping long today. We'll catch up later. Beautiful new home. Well, thank you. I was actually looking at all the lampshade kits, deciding which ones to make.
Oh, how exciting.
I know, I can't wait.
It's all
Morning,
right,
Betty. She says, I hate to be so British, but God, it's a bit warm. Tis best. Actually, in Cornwall, it was so much cooler. It was a good 10 degrees cooler.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so when you get 40 degrees up here, Cornwall's going to be like mid-20s. It's temperate, isn't it? It's surrounded by the sea.
Sea.
Yeah, that specific heat
Got a
capacity
little
kicks in.
microclimate going on.
Yeah, absolutely. Here we go.
Clever.
Let's have a look at these. Nope, not going to do it. Come on. Play ball.
It says no, too hard.
No, too hot.
Work today.
I will do it. Look at this. So this is your land art. Now you see, this is asking to be fussy cut and all sorts of goodies, isn't it?
I think so.
Now it is, well, it's got holly and a robin in there. But how long did it take you to spot it? It took me a while and I've seen it.
Subtle, huh?
It is subtle. But, I mean, you could just faux quilt this.
Beautiful.
It's rather special, isn't it? And look at the little snails.
When I first started quilting, I bought panels similar to this.
Well,
in
it's
America,
not.
it's
They're
like a
just
cheater
so
panel,
useful,
isn't it?
aren't they?
Yeah, where you can cheat.
And then I just love that you've got the little pebbles. There was a craft sale in the village at the weekend, and I just dipped my head in, bought a handmade belt, and went out again very quickly. But there was a lovely lady there who'd painted lots of stones, and that just reminds me of it. I meant to send the kids along, but it was too hot for them to come down in the end. They stayed in front of the hose.
Yes, best place for them.
Now, what about this? Because in this we have Mr. Fox, where this lovely snail keeps coming through. And you know, you get those weird shaped, you see, that to me looks like, so you know, the weird shaped mushrooms and things.
Yeah.
It looks a bit like that. But then you've got a little mouse in his nest. Bless you. And we've got stags. We've got all sorts of goodies going on in there. This is one that you really have to look hard at because there's a lot in there. And your mushrooms. This is one for your husband. Fun guy. There's a little mouse there and all the butterflies. So the butterflies are across the board. They were in the other one as well. There's so much going on that you get the repeat of the pebbles. This is, oh, it's just beautiful. So you get that. And so again, if you're quilting and you want those contrasting fabrics, you've got the colours, but you've got that. Oh, and then you've got this. So this is rather fabulous too. Do you have dream catchers in your house, Jem?
Sorry, I was muted because of the sneeze. And then it sounded like I wasn't laughing at your little joke. Now I've had to unmute to answer you, and now I sound all snuffly.
No, it's all right.
But yes,
I
we
don't
do
know
have dream
else.
catchers. Yes,
That's
yes,
my
yes.
joke either. Did I have a joke? Did I make a joke? Did I?
Fun guy.
Oh, fun guy. Oh, yeah.
I didn't laugh. Everyone was
Just to
thought I was
yourself.
being quite rude, not laughing at your joke, but
No,
I
that's
was
right.
ultimately.
But this is what this reminds me of.
Sneezing.
But then you see, if you do it that way, it looks to me like the river. And it looks like you've just got these bobbing down the river.
Beautiful.
It's rather lovely. I would be sashing all over the place with that. And then the snails. Snails and strawberries. You see, this is where I'm like, but this can't be a Christmas collection. This is almost a collection that goes across all the seasons, in a way. Or maybe it's like autumnal winter. But you've got all your little strawberries there, and just I love a snail.
Oh, cute.
I
don't
love
like
a
them in real
snail.
life.
I
don't like them in real life. They give
Do you
me
not?
the wibblies. Yeah, I'm not
Do
good
they?
with them. Yeah.
Oh no, I love them. I
Especially
collect them as a
actually
child.
slugs more so, because at least
Oh, I
snails
don't like
hide
slugs.
in they
No.
hide in a shell.
There's no need for them.
They've at least got the good manners to have like a nice sort of house.
Yeah, absolutely. And with a Fibonacci sequence. So, you know, they've done their maths
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
Like they're snails with a... Oh, look at this. I'm not a mouse fan,
You're
But
really not a mouse fan.
I'm really not a mouse fan, but this is the sort of mouse I can cope with, because this one is rather adorable. And the only reason that I'm not a mouse fan is because when I used to have a little flat with a wooden floor throughout, my lovely cat Hugo used to bring up mice and bop them along the floor.
Oh.
Well, it was a studio flat, so I just had like a futon-y bed on the floor. Yeah, which meant that the mouse ran into my bed and got tangled in my hair, which was not my most favourite experience in
No,
life.
I can't imagine it would be.
And since then, they kind of give me the heebie-jeebies, not going to lie.
Fair enough.
But they're so sweet. I mean, you know, theoretically, they are gorgeous.
Theoretically, I should very much like them.
Yeah.
However,
And as a kid, I always had hamsters and stuff growing up, and I loved my hamsters.
Oh no.
We had Hamish and Hayley, the hamsters.
Hamish and Hayley.
Hamish and Hayley.
Lovely.
Yeah.
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 Great hamster names.
Great hamster name. They all had to begin with H.
Of course. I see this.
Yeah, Freddie said to me the other day, Mummy, why do all of our indoor animals begin with a M? I don't know, Fred. It just happened. We've got Margot, Maud, Mortimer and Malcolm.
Yes.
Now this is rather
You didn't do this with the
fabulous as well,
children,
isn't
though.
it? Huh?
You didn't do this with the children, though.
No, they go outdoors as well.
Didn't go all that, you know. They go outdoors as well. They don't need alliteration. Gemma, they go outdoors. Okay, good.
Well, no, I wanted Emily to be Florence.
Yes.
I was desperate
Yes.
for Emily to be
Yes.
Florence. And then I realised that Florence and Fred was like the Asda
Yes.
clothing brand.
Yeah. Tesco.
Tesco.
clothing brand, yeah.
Oh, that's George, isn't it? That's the... Yeah, and I
Yes.
couldn't do it. I couldn't do it to them. I couldn't do Florence and Fred. Now this brings in everything. So you've got the nests, you've got the bird's nest, you've got the stones, you've got the snails, you've got everything. You've got the butterflies and the flowers. This is why I think it's like an all seasons collection. It's rather beautiful. Inga's got her eye on this one. Do you know why?
Oh, I'll bet.
Because not only do you have that in the pinky red, but you've also got it in the blues and the greens.
Very nice.
It's just gorgeous, isn't it? You've already been having a good old rifle through and buying this morning.
We've seen.
But look at this. You've got an owl in there as well. I didn't notice the owl. Oh, this is rather lovely as well, isn't it?
Beautiful.
And then, so you've sort of got pinks and blues in this. And then there is your very summery looking. It's the details in his body as well. See, that's where you know you've got a good quality fabric, because you wouldn't actually be able to do that kind of printing if the substrate, which is the base cloth, was rubbish. And it's not, which is why you can.
And the quality of the print as well.
Yeah, of course. It's all there. And look,
All there.
every place this snail has got that detailing in. I love it. Oh, hang on, look. Hang on. This has got writing on the mushrooms.
Oh, has it? What's it say? Actually, I'm asking you to see that, and we talked about this morning.
Orangia bicol something or another. It goes around the side. But I think it's got like the name of the mushrooms. Now you see,
Clever.
if in life mushrooms actually had their names on in the world, I might feel more inclined to, forage.
Yes. I always say this. So this is Vicky the other day. I always want to forage for things, but then I just know I'd be that person that would
I'd be that
buy the
person.
something
Yep.
that was going to poison
Yep.
me. Buy
The
something,
boyfriend
pick
loves a
the
good
something.
forage.
Oh, I'm not surprised.
Whenever you go in a wood or something, he's like, first person to find some fungi. I'm like, okay.
All fun.
All the fun. And it's always him, because, he's looking out for that kind of
Yeah,
stuff.
of course.
I'm just having a nice time. Oh, Gemma, they are rather fabulous. I thought I'd sort of put them in collections, but I'm really confused now because they all go.
It's thrown you, hasn't it?
It's really thrown me. I
Look how
like things
fresh
to be in
this one
collections. It's really fresh, isn't
Isn't it?
But then look at it with that.
Just divine.
Look. Ooh. But then equally, ooh. You said I'd have to put that one across them both.
Yes.
That.
Yes.
You can mix and match it in so many different
so many
ways.
beautiful pinks. In
I
with
know,
the snaily
it's
one, then it goes with
really
the pink one.
hard. Really
Oh.
hard to know. But they are brand new today. Brand, spanking new. You know we love Odile. And
this is her second land art collection. So her first one, everyone loved that.
They did.
But this one She decided to feature a spicy mix of bright, generous colours alongside muffled nocturnal tones.
Oh, I love a spicy mix, me.
Yep.
Right. Let's have a look at these bag kits. Now, I shared with you last week that the very first thing I ever sewed on a sewing machine was in fact a duffel bag, not too dissimilar to this. Oh no.
That's quite an ambitious first make, Tash.
I know. Well, I didn't have any say in the matter. I was like 8 or 9.
Crikey bobs.
I know. And I did it out of a navy paisley. So to hark back to that, I have put together a navy paisley bundle.
Nice.
Which is rather lovely. You need 2 meters of this and 1 meter of your lining fabric. So if out of any of the other linens that we have, you want to rummage, Jane witched them this morning to let us know how many, work out how much we had remaining. Now, I've only got like 4 of these, but they're rather lovely, aren't they? This is the one that she made it out of. There. That's it.
Beautiful.
In all its glory. And I have a handful in the gold, but really not many. And I think if you're quick, out of the blue one, we've got enough units to do. So the blue in this range, I think we've got enough units to do 1.
Beautiful, that blue.
Gorgeous. Now. I know that a lot of you have already been buying this morning because we looked. This is the one I'm going to demo in today. And then, there you go. That's the one that I made my kit out of.
Apparently the mushroom is a ginkgo leaf.
Oh! Ginkgo's very good for energy, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. It's an ancient tree.
Love a bit of ginkgo. Actually very good for us ladies.
Karen is multitasking today. She's making jewellery whilst watching.
Oh, she makes beautiful jewellery.
She does.
Got some Karen's jewellery. Do take a little look. Right. Shall we finish off these handles as I have started them? Now, you get a layout as to how to cut your fabric off your 2 meters when it's folded. So do bear that in mind. The other thing is when you are cutting, and I saved the last one just to show you, when you are cutting off your bolt.
Vicky, can you please look at Tash and tell me what is behind her on the right as you look at her left? The neutral paisley-ish thing. Please could you tell me what it's called and also the plain shades it might go with. Right, I'm going to
so silver mink is the one that you want to go with this.
I'd have said so, yeah.
This is what we put with it before.
Yeah.
And this is your sister bay. And your if you type in the code 44272335L or just 35L, Sister Bay 35L, then that will come up.
That's the one.
That's the one, Vicky. I've made so many things out of this, including actually quite a few. So yeah, do have a look. The linens are all tagged in today's show because we've got floral ones. And like I say, you're going to need 4 units, so for 2 meters, and then whatever you choose to go with. When we have put these together before, I went with the midnight or navy for the blue. Works a treat. If you want to go with the green, then our misty blue is the one that I put with that, I think. And then the silver mink was the one that I put with that.
Beautiful.
There you go.
And you know, I have to say, the imagery on those just doesn't
it's
do
gorgeous.
Them justice at
it
all
just
by compared to what they're
absolutely.
Stunning.
Now
Absolutely stunning. As you see,
when you are doing 5 3/4 inch, if you're a metric girl like me, that strikes fear into your very heart. Bless you, Gemma. So I tend to line up on my 6-inch marker and then move it back an increment. And that is how I'm going to get my 5 3/4. Okay. Oop. Helps if I cut it all the way along the bolt. There we go. And then you're going to snip off your, come on Gemma, selvage. I did think about saving all of these actually for that there John Cole Morgan, because they've got some really beautiful selvages on these. And then with the rest of your fabrics, here they are. Now bear in mind I've already taken off no, it's more than that, you know, 90 inches. It's like 100, because I've taken off 2 lots of 50 inches just there. That's 100 inches already.
Yeah.
Then we're going to take off another 12 inches and then whatever's left. There's a lot of handle to do. Okay, but we're going to get it done and dusted. Now, if you just place your fabric there, like that, you're going to go at right angles, not right angles, 45 degree. You can, if you want, use your 45 degree marker and you can line it up along that edge there and you can mark. But you can see on this, I'm going to get to there and then I'm going to run out and I've got to get to there. So the other thing that you can do is line up your straight edge there and then just overlay it a little bit so that you know where you are headed for and mark it from there. I'm just using a biro so that you can see. You will use one of your fabulous marker pens. Oh, do you know what, Jem? The other thing that I really thought this would work really well in is the denim.
Oh,
we've
beautiful.
Just taken ownership of some lovely new denim. So when we get that loaded.
Yes.
And then you want to move that along so that it is on your edges there. And then just pin it in place. If you are using a standard sewing machine, I'm using my my Mini Beast, then please make sure that you have your needle in the middle position. Okay, not on your 1/4 inch, else you're going to be sewing squiffy. Make sure you are right sides together. Ask me how I know. I did that this morning, didn't I, Jem?
You did.
Did that thing of sewing them not quite right sides together and then went, oh no, but it was quite easily rectified. There we go. There we are. So do pay attention to the to how they want you to cut, because the cutting is key on this. Do follow their guidelines. If you have, this is my top tip, if you have a circle cutter, you know the Fiskars circle cutter.
Brilliant.
Then you're going to want to whip that out for sure. Because yeah, you're going to use that all day long, and you can use that at on the 11-inch mark. So this is basically like massive bias binding, only it's not bias. You're going to press it in half all the way along.
Oh, public service announcement. The original colourway that you made yours in. The
Sold out.
African daisy. All gone.
Oh,
Well done those of you that got them.
Well done, well done.
Beautiful.
It is really stunning, and I reckon that you could make up one of the blue. We didn't have time, did we? We ran out.
The blue
time.
rain.
The blue rain, yeah.
It's been winking at me, that.
I'm not surprised, but I think that's only what's you'd probably get one out of that bolt.
Yes.
Because I might have had a little squidge going, ooh. But these have just been such beautiful fabrics to work with.
Really gorgeous.
We don't often get linens in like this.
No.
It's very rare. It takes a special sort of linen for me to go, yes. And they're not like creasy linen. You know, like linens that you wear that just are really difficult because they just crease everywhere.
You can see that with the bags you've got behind you.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And then you're going to open it out like so, fold it into the middle again. So you can see why I might have done a bit of this before we came to wear. Because, you know, just takes a little bit of time. But I did want to show you it. And I just drape this off my desk, to be honest.
It's all right.
Yeah.
It's not like it's a quilt that's absolutely huge. The width is there as well.
No.
A little bit of bag strap. So it can get flapped about, can't it?
Yeah, that I've just now thrown all the
hardware
on the floor.
Yeah. Lovely. I'll pick that up for you in a minute.
Thanks.
It's all right.
Now, you are going to, by the end of this, be really good at sewing squares and boxes. Because when you make a bag this size, Gemma, what am I, a self-confessed bag overfiller?
You are.
Yeah, I really am. So the fact that all of these are reinforced, all of these handles, was rather lovely. It's like, yes, 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 that will do nicely. So we'll get the main part. It is quite a long make, this one. But we will get as much of it done this morning as the heat will allow. But the instructions are really clear.
It's a great pattern, actually, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, I was really impressed when I saw it. Because you know what I'm like, I'm not great with other people's instructions.
No.
And that's nothing personal to anybody else's instructions, it's just I am a little bit dyslexic and it just... Yeah. And I think probably that's just more in my head than anything else. I don't like to sit down and read it. So then you can go through and you can press that, but we're going to take it across to the sewing machine. And here it is, like this. We're going to fold it in half. Now you can press that, of course you can. And you're going to sew down I would sew down the folded edge. And you're going to sew down there to start off with 1/4 inch. All the way down. And just keep folding it together as you go. You can clip it, you can pin it, you can do however you like, and you will have all of these in one great long length. Bear in mind, I've done a little bit already this morning. Sending everything off the desk this morning, Jen.
You are, you're throwing it all on the floor.
I know, right? Down we go. And then all you need to do is spin it around and go down the other side. And now it's a lot quicker because it's already sewed together. And this is why we love the Mini Beast, because it just flies through it. And this is the satisfying bit. It's like, yep, done. And it sews straight and it sews true. And the other really nice thing also to bear in mind about when you use the Dookie is that you know that your stitching is going to be the same on the top as it is on the bottom. So I have absolutely no qualms in now spinning this round and from the other side doing it. Now I'm just going to finger press that to the middle. I'm going to place that under my foot so that the middle is underneath where I'm going to stitch, and I'm just going to bring my seam guide in there so that I'm going to use that to get my stitch straight. Now, whoops, I've come unthreaded, that's not going to help, is it? These are great. A lot of people shy away from them if they have computerized machines, which is fine. This came with the machine, so I'm really comfortable and confident to use it. That's no problem because it actually came with the machine. And this isn't a fully computerized machine, but also, you know, when we've taken Dookies to bits on the show with Gary, the thing to bear in mind is that the computerized bit isn't under here. We've seen the workings under here, and it's just all the all metal bit, isn't it? It's not the computerized bit, which people are worried about damaging when they use magnetic seam guides. So obviously before you use one, go with your supplier's instructions. Otherwise, I would normally use washi tape for that. Now I promised you 5 lines of stitching, didn't I?
You certainly did.
So we've done 3. So now we're going to stitch in the middle, so in between those. So again, I'm going to align my foot, and your foot will sit, if you're using a foot like mine, it sits right in the middle. But again, you can, if you're using a seam guide, you can use that, or just eyeball it with that just going straight down the middle. And it's just having these little gadgets and toys that just make life, quite frankly, a little bit easier. I've no idea if you can hear me over the din of it. Because I am going foot to the floor, 1,500 stitches per minute. Gorgeous. And then just spin it around. I'm going to keep the same seam guide in the same place. And away we go. And that'll be that done in no time at all.
There's lots of love for the Mini Beast.
Yay! We love the Mini Beast.
Lots of people saying they want this machine.
Well, the beautiful thing about it is it's actually in stock.
Yes, I know. Shocker. Unlike
the TL 2200, which is not in stock and has a waiting list. This one is, and it's a pretty platinum colour, which we also love.
Limited edition, you know.
Dun, 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 dun. I love that you guys have bought this. I do, you know, lots of you have. And I love it because I can't recommend it highly enough. I absolutely adore it. Now, let's cut off here. Just trim, neaten up those edges. And then I do believe that I need to cut 2 50-inch, which I've done, and then 2 12-inch lengths. So let's cut those 12-inch lengths now. And we're done. I did have to giggle when I made this. There was a lovely lady on Facebook that said that I should have pattern matched my my handles with that. Good luck with that. That is beyond my pay grade. Not going to happen. I'd already done however many inches, which I now realise that my maths was quite poor at doing. Now,
Probably just as well.
Yeah,
Otherwise
I know.
you might have talked yourself out of it. And it's clearly not that big a deal. It just sounds worse than it is.
It's not that big of a deal.
No,
It's not that big of a
it's
deal
really
at
not.
all. No. And I've done it. Like, that's it. It's all done. So I've got, these are my handles. These are my straps for the end of the bag. Now, I'm going to show you a little trick with the end of the bag. Right. Because. I cut these with my circle cutter. You do get a pattern.
Have you
You
got
can
the
cut
circle
it
cutter
from
to
that.
hand, just to show? The reason I ask is lovely Jan Castles. Sorry, Jan, if I've pronounced your surname wrong. She says, morning, lovely ladies. I'm having a stock take in my sewing cave. Please, can you tell me which rulers you couldn't live without?
Oh, the
This is on the
circle
list,
cutter, the
isn't it?
Fiscal circle cutter for sure. Now, when we come to sew this later, we're going to want to mark off 1/2 and 1/4. Okay, so I'm going to fold it now, and do you know how I'm going to mark it off? I'm going to take the tiniest nip out of those corners.
Just some little teensy-weensy threads.
And then, helps if it actually does it on that one. That was a bit too...
Were you too delicate?
I know,
No footsie
unusual.
today.
Unusual. But then I've got little notches at my 1/2 and 1/4 circle marks. Okay, because when I do come to put these bits on the end, I'm gonna line them up along that halfway. And that's what I'm going to be going on. Oh, why didn't I match that pattern, match that? Naughty. Right, I don't have any of the D-rings. I'm going to use the square ones for this, okay? Let's just do these. And then...
Can I very, very, very quickly distract you?
Go on,
Just so that we
Gemma.
can finish giving Jan a lovely full
Yes.
answer on which rulers we couldn't live without. We've had a very helpful stripology from Danny. Which
Stripology for sure.
XL, I
yeah,
would
the
say.
XL. Always go big first.
Yes.
Because
and then when you've gone big,
then you can
yes.
get the smaller increments as and when you need them.
Exactly.
But absolutely go for the bigger stripology. I also love, now, until my Big Easy came out, I would have said the 6.5 by 24.5 inch ruler,
Yes.
because you can cut, like you saw me do earlier, a folded bolt in half, and you've got sort of an inch either end to safely line your rotary cutter up before you cut. But then along came the Big Easy, and the Big Easy just means that I can cut bigger chunks off.
Yes.
I love them both and I use them both, but this one is currently.
Can I give a little shout out for the little kids in the room though? Our friend the Perfect Five.
Oh, the Perfect 5 is fabulous, and also the 12.5 by 6.5.
Yeah.
I use that one a lot as well. Yeah, the Perfect 5, absolutely. Oh, they're just
Any creative grids that anyone is desperate to get their hands on, please pop us a message across to info@natashamakes.com. We are due to have a good old stock check.
Yeah, we are, and we can get them in for you. We are about to.
We do need to have a look at where the demand lies.
Yeah, let us know. Let us know what you want, and we'll get it in.
The Big Easy will be one that we'll be looking to restock, I think, won't it?
For sure.
You love him.
Yes,
You love him, that Big Easy,
Yes.
don't you?
I do love Big Easy.
I mean, the fact that he sounds like a burger and makes us hungry every time we say it doesn't help, but alas.
Fine, it's fine. Now then, let's take a look at this. So this is going to be on the end of my circular bag. Thank you, Gemma. And here it, it's telling you very clearly. So fold one duffel in half. So get the centre. I've just got to remember how far down.
Ooh, Karen's thrown something in the mix.
What, Karen?
She thinks she might be tempted to do the straps in a contrast fabric.
Yeah, do you know what? Do you know what I was going to do? Do you know what I was going to do? And that is with the paisleys. I was going to do the handles in a darker colour.
Oh, that would be pretty, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I did really think about that. And then I was like, but I just, it didn't have enough time. And I did love this one. And so I was committed. So you're going to measure 2 inches and fold it. I don't know if you can see that. 2 inches there and fold it. And then you are going to fold back another 1/2 inch. Like so. Your D-ring is going to go in there like so. Okay. Like so. Now you can clip, pin, do whatever you need to do there. Obviously all of mine are now out of reach. Now, Jim, I think I've run out of the white on my pen.
Oh, did you see? I
really
stocked a
distressing.
white washable pencil.
Oh, that'll do.
That's our new product that I have stocked.
Perfect.
There we are. And I
I'll
got
need
you
one of
one as
those.
well.
Thanks. Perfect.
Don't say I never get you nothing. There we go.
Thanks, Gemma.
It's all right. Saw them, thought we'd like them, got them in,
Now.
loaded them.
This is where you're going to have to take into account, you're going to have to get your foot up and alongside there. So probably you want to come along there. And then, do you know what, I am going to pin that in place. This is where...
I just love how professional this looks.
It really does, doesn't it? It's fabulous.
This is one of those makes that people will see and go,
where did you get that from?
You didn't make that. How did you make that?
Jem, you know how I talked to you about sacrificial pins?
Yes. This is
This is a sacrificial pin situation. Your cheap pins, sacrifice them and get them in there. And then I'm going to go 1/4 inch long there. And then, because I'm going to sew up that seam allowance and that seam allowance, and then I'm going to cross over. So if you want to mark that, or if you are quite happy to stitch, then do so. All right, so we're going to sew up one side, possibly as far as we can go. You could always start by sewing across there where you're comfortable and then go around there. It's entirely up to you, and you can always remark it. But whatever you do, just be consistent. So I don't need that anymore. And you'll feel it. You'll feel where your foot is happy sitting. Do you know what? We were pretty spot on.
Aww, love it when that happens.
So we go from our outer rows of stitching, and you're going to use those as the guide to stitch down. And then you're going to go diagonally across. And you will end up going over some of these a few times. And I think that's okay. It just, for me, means it's reinforced even more. And I'm quite happy with that. And then I'm just going to go along that bottom edge there. But basically, you want to get to the state where you've done a cross.
Beautiful.
In there. Okay, and you are going to, you can trim back any threads on the top side. So you might have the odd one where you started. And we're going to repeat that on the other side. Yeah. Now, you can either do that when you come to stitch this onto your bag. there's nothing to stop you if you want from just doing it the once. If you want to, you're going to have that all facing down, okay? And then you can stitch up, stitch across, and stitch in that square. If you want to stitch across again, then you can do it all, or you can do it all in a oneer if you want to. So let's show you that way as well. So again, we're going to fold it over by 2 inches. Finger press. Fold it back on itself by a 1/2 inch so that you are there. Okay. Again, get that sacrificial pin just to hold that in place.
I love how you've got a matching shopping bag to go with your duffel as well.
Oh yeah, of course. Got all the bags in all the world,
isn't it?
Now you can either find the middle of that, but you did your line of stitching down the middle, so you can just align your line of stitching. Yeah.
Great point of reference.
I know, right? Up here for thinking, down there for dancing, and I've trodden on that. There we go. And then again, on here, if you want to mark where you're going to do your square, then you can. And actually what you can do is stitch that straight down onto there, should you feel brave enough. If not, just do it this way and then stitch it on afterwards. It's entirely up to you, but if you feel brave enough to do it this way, do it this way. It's absolutely fine. Do you know what? I don't think that my iPad is enjoying the heat today.
Oh.
It keeps turning itself off and all sorts.
It's got that Monday feeling.
It really has.
Meg was outraged that her boyfriend is not at school today because they have decided not to have his year group in, and it's a fully air-conditioned building.
What?
Whereas the school Meg's in is,
Not.
well, it's out in the Cotswolds, isn't it? It's a very old building and there's no air conditioning, and she was having to go in on the non-air-conditioned
there's
bus.
nothing quite as outraged as an outraged Meg. I love your daughter dearly.
17
But she does outrage as well as my 3-year-old.
She really does.
Who really does outrage incredibly well. Now, for preference, Gemma, I would do it this way. But if you are worried in any way, do it the other way.
Oh, Jojo says, I'm pleased to announce I finally got my DX7 out of the box yesterday. Yay! And I love it. Oh, Jane Parker says, please can you give the name of the marking pencil again? The one that Natasha's just been using, the new one? I think so. That's just a hemline. Where are we? What are they exactly called? But they're right near the top of the collection, just after all the kits today. So if you go to our website and go to Watch Live.
Soluble.
Yeah.
It's handy.
Go to our website, go to the Watch Live page and click onto the products. Scroll down. If it only shows you a few products, click the View All, and it's the water-soluble pencil, the Dressmaker's water-soluble pencil. They're one of those very inexpensive things that are just fabulous to have.
Oh, you just need in your life.
Oh,
yeah,
fabulous.
They cost pennies, really.
Really are cheap. Fabulous.
So if you want to do it in a oneer, then it's done. Oh, you didn't see any of that because I forgot to change the thing.
Ah, very good.
Well done me. Should we do it on this one? Sew this one on. Soz, everyone. That was a bit useless of me, wasn't it? Did nobody mention it? No one? No one? No one, no one.
No, not that I saw, but then I am on a delay, so...
Go on, we'll do this one and pretend that we're just doing the same. I told you, didn't I? My stuff it is complaining. So you're going to go on your, up on your seam allowance, on the very first line of stitching. Uppity, 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 up. And then you can always do you can sew your square there if you haven't done it. I might just go over it just to show you very quickly, or even just part of it. And then when you get back to that line that you haven't stitched down, down you go the other side. And this is going to be something that you're going to get used to, but I pin in the middle of the bag handle. And there that is, sewn in. So you've now got both your ends done.
Fabulous.
They are stitched, done, happy days, good stuff. Now, let's have a look at this zip, okay, because the zip is put in a slightly different way, okay, and you have got these little bits here, and please tell me I cut them, Jem, please tell me I
What did you
cut
need to have
them.
cut?
Ah, I definitely cut them and I don't know what I've done with them.
What's
I
that?
thought I'd pinned everything really carefully to itself.
Aw.
Oh no, I have. Here we
There
go.
you go then. Have
That's something
faith.
different. Here we are. I did do it.
Hey,
I couldn't
Margaret's been busy
decide.
this
I was going
morning,
to do the lining in the blush
and
and then I changed to the navy.
I do like it with the navy.
I like it with the navy as
Very
well.
nice.
You need, and let's show
Practical
you.
too, actually.
Huh?
Practical too as well. I should
Well,
imagine Captain
yeah.
Small will be using this one.
Well, I used the blush on the other one, so I was like, actually, no, I will change. But I'd cut it out, but hey. 18.5 inches when of actual visible zipper.
Okay.
Okay. Now, this is what you're going to do. This is, here, 1 inch by 1 1/4. You are going to press under by 1/4 inch. Okay. And you're going to do that to all of them, which then makes it a square, yeah?
Yep.
This took me a little bit to get my head around, so I'm quite pleased that I get to show you.
I think that will help everybody else. The fact that you've had to work it out.
I nearly came through and went, Jane. And I was like, no, put your big girl pants on and just read it.
Work it out, Tash.
Just work it out for yourself. Like, this is not beyond the wit of man.
Or Tash.
Margaret. Anyone else gets all excited when Natasha says this zip is put in a slightly different way? Yeah.
Excited or afraid?
Be afraid. Be very afraid.
Margaret has been busy today. She says
What's she been
coolers
doing?
are refilled with cold water, water bottles back in the fridge, laundry sorted and on, cat has had his second breakfast,
Oh my gosh.
cup of tea, good morning.
The cat is living the dream.
I think so.
The dream.
I'm going to go and
Right.
have my retirement with Margaret. She can look after me.
I'd like a second breakfast.
Fabulous.
So,
Yes.
you are going to right sides together, put your zip end on there, right? With the folded end closest to the end of the zip. Right?
Right.
I've never done one like this.
No, me neither. This is exciting.
Okay. Pin them in. Do whatever you need to. You can imagine actually when I did it, I got my little quilter's tape out. And then you are going to stitch along that line there. Are you ready for this, Gemma? On that 1/4 inch line that you
Just to
Okay.
clarify, you're nowhere near the pins.
oh no
Nowhere near the
no
pins.
no
Just
no
for
no
anyone
no
having a
pins.
nervous breakdown at home.
And then you see that then folds there like so, and then you can sew a little square just to hold that in place. I mean, clearly I am going to use this method myself in the future.
Of course.
Okay,
And you can sew across
And
these
look.
zips, can't you?
Yeah,
Why?
because these are nylon ones. These are not metal ones.
They
If it
are.
was a metal one. Now,
I'll be back in a minute.
what you are going to do then is measure said zip, because when it is done, in total, it's going to measure the 21 inches of the side of your bag. But actual visible zip showing, you want 18.5 inches. So I'm just going to go to here. Now, we've cut 1/4 of an inch, haven't we? That's where we've done. So I'm going to go 18 3/4. So there's my 18.5 there, 18 3/4 to there, to allow for that 1/4 of an inch that I'm going to be covering up at the end. So this zip here is 18 3/4, and when I put my 1/4 of an inch on there, that's going to leave me an 18.5 inch exposed zip. Now, the other thing that I'm going to have to do, Gemma, is what? Remember to put my
Zip plug.
Yay! I've got to find it first.
Is it here? Just by your
Yeah, there it is.
by your pyramid bag.
By my pyramid
Incidentally,
bag.
I use every time I sew my pyramid bag.
Do you?
Yeah, because it's got my quilting clips in it.
Oh.
I love it.
I'm trying to find my gadget on a... I've got my gadget on the end here. Now,
Demo one on a pizza box, haven't you?
I know, I don't know where my demo pizza box one is. I think it's in with my Hochanda stuff. But basically, it's the towel thing again.
Very clever.
Love it. So if you
Helps by
don't have you got our towel thing?
Helps if I unmute, doesn't it? I've got the towel thing.
Excuse me, just being on
Great.
camera whilst I just... No, have you got it tagged in today's show?
Yeah.
Because
With the wash away tape as well.
that's how
Because-
quick it is to just do the zip thing.
Yeah.
We have demoed this lots of times. I can take absolutely no credit for this at
For the
all, by the
method.
way.
No, no.
It is Lisa Lamb. End of. Lisa Lamb's method. But there is the zip in and done. So again, from here, I'm putting the bit that I folded over there and closest to the end there. Now, if you are worried, you can always sew your ends of your zips together first. Now you see when I'm putting my pin in, you can always just use your wash away tape. That's what I did on the first one that I did. It's away from where I'm sewing, so I'm not going to damage anything at all. It's changed for me. Gemma tells you, generally, I just go at it.
You really do.
And then remove my pins that were, again, as Gemma said, nowhere near.
We've had a few people ask about your scissors, the bent trimmer. These were out of stock. They are the bent trimmer you're using, aren't they? Or have been using? They match your machine.
No, actually,
What
they
have you
have
got
been
then? Which
slightly
one?
different ones. My bent trimmers have been nicked by someone in the building. Hate to say it.
Shocker, what have you got there?
Well, these were ones that I bought at one of the craft events.
Oh.
From that lady, I say bought, that lady he gave them to me. They had a handful of them,
Lovely.
so we don't sell them because.
But
they
normally
only
you
had-
use your bent trimmers.
I
then
would
they're
normally, yeah, no,
absolute
I would
faves.
normally go on that, but I
But
don't have
somebody's
them.
pinched them. Well, I
No.
had a few pairs squirreled away.
Have we?
So I've just put a couple on stock, but I have kept one back because I thought Tash will probably want another set. Now I know that yours have gone missing. You definitely do.
You know, I absolutely do. I don't know. I honestly don't know where they are. Look, they're not in my roundy thing.
Has that made you quite cross? Slash upset?
I mean, I don't like it when people nick my stuff. It's probably my kids, because Emily does love a pair of scissors. So that is how we're going to do the zip tabs. And then
Julia says, woohoo! 3 metres of happy post and mode of fat quarters. That sounds like my kind of post. That beats the gas bill, doesn't it?
certainly
Eh?
does. Do you know what? I was thinking this year is the year for making quilts, because that's the way we're all going to keep warm and save the planet, right? In my head, that's how that's going to work.
Yep.
So this should, in theory, measure 21 inches. Only spot on, Gem.
Oh,
Only spot blinking on.
Oh, Donna says, good morning all from a very hot North Devon.
Oh.
Beautiful part of the world.
Hang on, Donna, whereabouts in North Devon are you? Because I used to work at Heartland.
We love North Devon.
Yeah. When I was preggers with that there Freddie, I took myself off to work on a yard. Because obviously,
Yes,
you know,
you did.
working with
I
horses
recall.
and mucking out 20 odd horses a day is always a good idea when you are pregnant.
Got yourself
They
stuck on a
took
saddle as
one
well.
look at me and went, I did get stuck in a saddle. That's a whole other story. I got stuck in a western saddle. They have the pommel on the front. And I got wedged.
Because it wasn't on a horse.
It wasn't on a horse, no, David had just made it. Lovely David made these most beautiful saddles and he just left it over the tree. Everybody else had gone off riding and I hadn't.
For the
that
purposes of everyone else, Tash, who's not horsey and doesn't know that a tree isn't an actual tree with leaves and roots and a trunk.
day. Oh, it's what you put a saddle on when it's not on the horse.
Like a wooden thing.
Yeah. So it just holds the saddle in the shape of a horse. Now, I've used my quilter's wash-away tape to hold that in place and I'm just going to sew down there.
Very good.
Yeah, so...
But yeah, you decided to go and have a little sit on the saddle, didn't you? Because it looked
Well,
so
David had
beautiful.
just made it look really comfy.
Yeah.
So I thought that would be a
little
a
tryout.
really good idea to do that. Turns out,
What happened, Tash?
I got stuck
Yeah, you did, didn't you?
and I had to wait for everyone to get back from their ride to help me out of the saddle that wasn't even on a horse.
Because it wasn't done up / attached to anything. So if you'd have
There was
tried
no
to jump
girth,
off,
nothing. I would have just gone,
and you'd have had a fall.
yeah. And I couldn't swing myself forward because of said bump. It was all sorts of disaster. It wasn't long after that I did actually stop. Now, Jen, what would we normally do with the zip at this point?
Well, open the zip. Oh no, you've opened the zip.
We would
already.
press it.
You've pressed it, yeah.
Then what would we do?
Top stitch?
No,
Don't need to top stitch this
not
one.
yet. Not yet.
Ooh.
Top stitching. Did they laugh when they returned? Yes, of course. They still take the mick out of me now, Karen. I took... did they laugh? Yes.
Of course
Yes,
they
yes.
laughed. You'd have
It is
laughed if
now
it was
just
anyone else.
One of the stories that just gets told in the barn of the time that ridiculous Natasha decided that coming to work pregnant was the best idea in the world and got stuck in a saddle.
Yeah.
They're still very lovely friends actually, and I'm going to be able to go and ride back there again,
Oh,
which is really nice. But that's where I took the kids on holiday last year.
Yeah, it is.
We went down.
I recall.
We took sausage,
You did, little sausage.
little sausage,
That you got for Emily.
and Kai,
Who
my lovely
Emily,
big boy,
Yeah.
and off we went in our little lorry to Devon.
I love that you got little sausage for Emily, and yet she's mostly interested in Kai, who's your horse. But
Oh, she keeps saying that. Yeah, sausage
And
is for Freddie.
Holly.
Oh, Holly, yeah.
she
So
can't
I've got this
ride.
beautiful thoroughbred who came to me as a dangerous horse. Nothing dangerous about her. She was just in pain. Now she's not in pain. She's utterly lovely. And yeah, I'm very glad that the vets didn't put her down as a dangerous horse.
She's the recommendation.
Because Emily, bless her, fills her pockets with hay and climbs up on her back. Really not dangerous at all.
No.
In fact, possibly
Horribly dangerous,
the
scary horse.
sweetest, most loving horse you will ever meet in your entire life.
I love Holly.
I love Holly, and she has a home with me for life. And this is it. You see, everyone that comes is like, "Oh, that's a nice one. Are you selling her?" I'm like, "No, she will never be sold because I just can't guarantee that anyone would keep her in the
No.
way that I do. She needs a herd, or it blows her brains."
As I said, she gets poorly quite easily,
She gets,
doesn't
yeah,
she?
she gets
Very easily.
ulcers in her tummy from stress.
Yeah.
If she doesn't have a herd, she really, really finds it difficult because, you know, that's a horse's safety, isn't it?
Yeah.
Safety in numbers
Yeah.
for a horse. You take that away from them and some just don't cope / get called dangerous. Right, let's move that
We
zip
don't
out
like
the way.
that
We
because
do
then
not
they
like
decide to do things like euthanise them, which is not not what we needed for Holly.
Right.
Because she's a good girl.
She's a good girl. She's a very good girl. Come on, switch. There we are. Yep, so Holly is going to be a Cornish horse quite soon. She does not yet know this. But you see, that's what happens for people. You know, they listen to the vets and everyone. And, you know, the vets were saying your insurance has run out. Blah, 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 blah. I totally understand it.
Yeah.
But...
there was another way.
There was another way. Right, so that is the zips. I'm pressing back. Yes, I'm pressing back. But I'm not top stitching. That is going to happen later. Ooh. This is where having a stash of zips on said rolls is lovely because, and I just wish that I'd had rose gold hardware to match.
Oh,
I know.
that would have been lovely, wouldn't it?
I know, but I couldn't find them. Could not find them. No suppliers had them. But there we go. That's, oh, I've managed to.
You did
press
try.
in a crease. Do you know, I spent hours looking. Hours and hours and hours trying to source this blinking stuff. But there we go. Right. That is your zip in. Now what we're going to do is sew up the back. Okay. How are we doing on time, Jem?
It's 11:11.
Quite a long make, so we'll do as much of it as we can. Now
You're
we're going to use
cracking on.
a
I think you've done really
half-inch
well.
seam allowance. So I'm going to get one of my before what I would have done was measure a ½ inch across there, and I will just get one of my little rulers. Again, this is where your Creative Grids ones are so good because they've got it opaque up to your ½ inch mark. I know that right in the middle there is where my needle comes down, so I'm going to align and just make sure. Yeah, there are gadgets that you can get actually to just double check that, and I'm going to keep that there because you're going to keep coming back to using this ½ inch seam allowance, which when you're used to working with a ¼ inch takes a bit. You're like, oh really? And I did have to keep double checking myself. So to have that visual, whether it be washi tape or a seam guide, is really handy. If you're a dressmaker, you'll be all over it, going like, yeah, whatever. Because they were much bigger seam allowances, aren't they? And then we're going to press that open. You know what we haven't done?
What haven't you done?
Oh, I haven't put the handles on. I'm going to undo all that stitching, put the handles on.
Oh.
No. But I'm just going to show you because by the time we put the handles on, we might not have time to do that much more. You are going to then press that open, turn it through, and from the top, sew a ¼ inch down either side. And you can do it because that hole is so blinking big.
Yeah.
You can do that. Let's put those handles on because otherwise this is not going to be the most successful bag in the world. Gemma, who's saying what? Who shouts out?
It would be
put the
more
handles
like
on?
a, zippy bolster, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
That'd be where you'd be with it.
Which would, be a look.
It would be a thing. A useful thing, but it would be, yeah.
But that's what it would be. I think we can all recognise.
Oh, we've got Fiona disagreeing with it being 11:11. She says, no, it's not, because she's in a different country, of course.
Oh, of course. Where is she today? Is she still in ridiculous heat?
In a super hot Qatar, 109 degrees Fahrenheit. Yeah.
She's still working outside?
She's on a heat break at lunchtime-ish, so enjoying being with us under our lovely bag. She's loving it. She thinks it's beautiful.
Well, it would be if I actually,
Yeah.
bothered to make it in sequence and, not just
Yeah,
cherry
right.
pick my favourite
Absolutely.
bits.
Karen's referring back to Holly's story and saying, aren't we all happiest in our herds?
Well,
Yes,
do you know
I'm not sure
what?
whether Karen was around last week when we were talking about our commune.
Oh, no, I'm not sure that she is. Karen, you can come to our commune too.
Definitely. She can
It's
dress us all.
basically the Natasha Makes tribe,
Yeah.
all bringing their own fabulous skills.
Yeah.
So you're going to
Yeah.
make us lots of
Dressmaking
dresses.
skills required.
Will be fabulous.
Oh, Claire Angelina sympathising with your story of getting stuck on the saddle, saying I got stuck in a top that was a smidge too tight in a shop changing room when I was at least 8 months pregnant with Ryan.
No.
I had to ask the girl in the shop to help get me out of it. I got stuck in a top once. I was a teenager, and it was just one with this really weird funnel neck. It went on really easily, but getting it off was practically impossible. And I was at this stage where I thought, I'm literally going to have to cut my way out of it, take it to the till, and pay. If I'd have had scissors in my bag, I think I'd have done it.
Do you?
I got my friend to help me get out of it.
Yeah, you see, I get a little bit, I get a bit of, just feel a bit
Claustrophobic?
claustrophobic.
Yeah, I did. It was
Yeah.
horrific.
That would be the one.
It was not fun.
Right.
Oh, Donna says she lives in Great Torrington now, but she lived in Heartland for over 10 years.
Did you?
There you go.
Did you? When did you move? I see all these
I
people.
wonder now whether you're in the same place at the same time.
Well, I don't know.
Isn't it strange?
Because I used to work at the horse place. And it's all natural horsemanship there. It's beautiful. Really beautiful.
Oh, Jojo says she's bought her kit and the extras ready to sew on the new DX.
Yay! Just,
Oh,
you
and
know.
John Cole Morgan's arrived. He says,
Oh.
I am so late to the party
Yeah,
today.
It's fine, John.
You
It's
are,
fine.
John, but he's happy being in our herd.
Ah, he is part of our herd, for sure. Now, you are going to do this. Look, it says here 5 1/4 inches. Mark it with that pen that here we go. So again, this time, 5, find your 5, move it across 1/4. And mark that in.
Yeah, Karen to catch up on our tribe show. She's also Googled since then islands for sale.
Oh, fabulous.
So she's going to try and sort our island out.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. Island.
You're all the levels of helpful there, Karen. Thank you.
Karen
Oh,
is fabulous. We love her.
Donna says she
very,
moved
very
in
much.
2019, but she was there for 10 years before that.
Oh, well, I would have been there exactly the
You
same
would.
time. Yes.
How bizarre.
Yes, yes, yes. Probably ridden past your house. So I'm marking this on. You should really do this. If I'd actually remember to do the straps, then you actually mark these on. You would do this before.
Ginny says sorry she's late today. She'll catch up later.
Ah, there we go. Yeah, so you would do this before you put before you sew the zip on. I just completely forgot. So I'm just, if you do that, just allow when you measure, because you've got to measure down 4 1/2 inches. So I'm just measuring in 1/4 inch because that was my seam allowance on my zip. So no harm done. We can work it all out as we do. And then if you want to just double check that you're all even.
And you'll all be fine doing this because you'll be sat
You're
at home
actually,
reading
yeah.
the instructions, not, you know, gabbing and what have you.
Gabbing.
Gabbing on that there screen.
How very blinking rude / correct.
Do you know what I did at the weekend?
Gab.
Well, obvs. Although I didn't gab much, I was mostly sat being sulky on my own. I fell down the steps in my garden.
Oh, not your new garden.
Like a proper... Yeah, they're not finished yet. So I came a right cropper down the steps, twisted my ankle, and took the skin off the back of my ankle on the other leg.
Jem, what are
And
you
landed with a
doing?
great big thud. To which Guy turned around and went, oh, okay. Came rushing over. So it had to be bad.
What, for him to notice or be
I
concerned?
came a right cropper.
Oh, Jem,
I
be
know.
careful. You
There's
did not
nothing
have
like
your
it, though, is there?
beautiful new garden
I
done.
know.
Right,
Doesn't
so.
quite like having a fall as an adult, though, you know.
Oh, you just feel really stupid and really shaken, don't you?
But you're also
That's
there on the
thing.
floor going, how did that happen then?
What's
I
going
was
on?
up and now I'm down. What's going on here?
Oh, I'm just going to mark on here, by the way. Now, I'm going to mark the square that I'm going to sew. All right, so that's where I'm gonna go up one side. That's my marker. You can do this however big you want it to be. So if you want it to be like an inch square, you can do an inch. And then you can mark on there. And then your handle, make sure that when you put your handle on, there are no twists in it. It's quite important. That's where my bobbin ran out, isn't it?
Looking fabulous.
It is looking fabulous.
I love this.
Now when I'm pinning these straps on, right, I'm putting the pins through that middle line of stitching, because then you can keep the pins in as you sew up and you sew down. And you're just going to glide either side.
Glide either side.
Glide either side.
You're a poet and you don't even know it.
Ah. I used to do, when I was pregnant as well, going back to Hartland, I used to do Tai Chi with lovely Caro, whose husband is an amazing artist and has a gallery in the middle of Hartland. It is a very small world. Very small world.
Okay, couple of things. First, Joe and Fiona need to behave. So Joe said, but did he laugh first? Unfair. And Fiona says, oh, Gemma, add some water to that there alcohol. I was sober. But Anne, God bless Anne Albon says, I tried on a dress in the changing room, only to realise I'd gone through the wrong door.
Oh no!
I was in the window display.
Oh no! Anne! No! That's the best story. Amazing.
I mean, I've done
Amazing.
some things.
Gemma, that's the sort of thing we'd do.
Exactly the kind of thing I do.
That's brilliant, Anne. That's absolutely brilliant.
It's
I'm going to, hang on.
Anne, I'm delighted.
I'm going to sew down there, do the little roundy, squarey bit, and then sew down the other side whilst we laugh at Anne. And that is truly,
best story in the
truly
world.
genius. Oh, good job, Anne. Good job. Oh my goodness me, that's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Oh, Gemma, that is just the sort of thing you and I would do.
Oh dear. Oh, Vicky's she's terrible. She says, now if you're going to be honest and share, how many times did you fall down your steps this weekend? All right, so I did fall down them again on Sunday. 2 days in a row.
What are you doing?
They are coming back to finish the steps. I just need to stop using the steps, don't I?
They're not actually finished?
They're not finished. They temporarily filled them with gravel until they came back to fill them properly and put the tile tops on. And they were like, yeah, they'll be fine like that. No, they're not fine like that. My heel sunk in the gravel, my ankle twisted, my leg went, my other foot went along the sleeper.
That's not ideal,
yes,
is it?
No, it's not.
That's
Vicky did
really
take me out
not
for a
ideal.
drink afterwards to make me feel better. We all went to the pub on Saturday evening.
Sure we didn't go to the pub first?
No, we were going to go for a lovely walk to a pub. And then Vicky very sensibly pointed out that with a twisted ankle I might not get all the way to Barton and back, and that we were walking alongside the river to get there. Imagine if I fell in the river on the way back from the pub with a twisted ankle and a little bit of booze on board. Oh dear. Wouldn't have gone
Gemma,
well with
this is
it.
what happens when I'm not around. You do silly things.
I know. That's why
you,
yesterday I mostly sat in my kitchen and sulked and sewed a dress that does not fit at all. It's massive. Why are patterns so rubbish? You know what I needed to do? I needed to take your Lutterlow home. That's what I needed to do.
Oh, your dressmaking?
Yeah, the golden rule. That would have done me.
Yeah, you see, that's why.
It's my biggest
Gemma, share
regret.
with the group. What have you been doing?
Made a dress.
Right.
But I did research online and there was a few mentions of the fact this pattern comes up huge. So I purposely made the dress that in theory was going to be 4 inches. That my bust and my waist was 4 inches too big for. So I thought, we'll be fine. It's still big. So now I've got to take it apart and reconfigure the whole bodice section. And then do something
Which,
gathery with the...
as a newbie dressmaker, is quite challenging.
Not ideal, is it, to be honest?
And quite scary. And this is where things like the golden rule just win hands down.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't dressmake with anything else. The only dresses that I make are with the golden rule because it stops all of that faffing. I don't know how to do all those sorts of things. No idea.
It's quite irritating. I didn't really think about the fact that I am, as much as I'm 5 foot and a fag end tall, I am predominantly legs. I've actually got a really short body. So I'm going to whip some of the bodice out, like shorten it and take it in. And then gather the skirt and then attach the two. What I need is Karen. Karen! Come to my house, Karen.
Wigan. Come on, love. Wouldn't it be great?
Come to my house and teach me all the dressmaking things, please, Karen.
Well, I think there are quite a lot of us.
Because I'm just, I'm having a play. It's gone really well. Ugh.
So you are going to put your handles in like so. Anne had teenage boys at the time, Gemma. They were mortifying.
Oh.
Could you imagine?
Oh no.
Yeah.
That's a particular level of specialism.
So you will do both handles like that. Ba, 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 ba. And then you will sew it together like that. That's when you have this sewn, I'll just pin it here. When you have this sewn and you've sewn either side of your base so that you've got that all the way down, that's when you need to open up your zip because you're going to insert your round end. So, few things to bear in mind when you are inserting this. Firstly, okay, I'm going to pin exactly on that 1/2 inch. Like I did, I'm going to use the zip, middle of the zip, as my halfway mark.
Clever. Lovely.
And where my seam allowance there, again, as my 1/4 inch mark. And then I'm going to do that little snip thing again to find me my 1/4 mark, right? And you're going to put this in at a 1/2 inch seam allowance. Now this is going to go towards the top, so that means this nick here at the bottom is going to line up with your base there, so you'll be able to pin that in place. Okay, and I just pinned it at every 1/4. So you see, look, there are my notches there.
Well, this is very satisfying, isn't it?
Really satisfying. And then my notch there went into the middle there. And my notch there went in there.
Lovely. YouTube's busy today. Crikey bobs.
Okay,
Hello,
so
everybody.
then you start stitching wherever it is that you stitch, and as you go round, basically keep this flat against. If you're using washi tape to mark your 1/2 inch, then do that. But just keep aligning this curve on, and as you go, just keep making that.
It's lots of
It's
little short
tiny,
straight
tiny.
lines,
Yeah,
isn't
just
it?
think of it as
Yeah.
an amalgamation of lots of short, straight lines. So just keep realigning it, and as you come round to it, you will get to that with no bother. Okay, and just keep going round. But you mark those quarters to make sure you're not way off anywhere, and it really does help. And then you'll stitch in your other side, and you're going to do your lining the exact same way. Now when you've done your lining, let me just show you this. This is where, what I say, this is a slightly different way to put your zip in. Oh, and by the way, you know how we've done the squares and everything? That's how you're going to do your long strap.
Lovely.
So the same process. What I would say though is put everything on it together and make sure that you've got like the folded the fold where it's folded over on the inside. You might just need to turn it through, but just, you know, that's just something to bear in mind with. Right, now, this is your assembly of the duffel bag. So you are going to, yes, sew your bag base in, but you're going to leave 3/4 of an inch, fold back your seam allowance, press it, and then leave 3/4 of an inch at the top. Okay, so you're going to mark that on your circle. So here, and whatever I have as my top bit here, where is it, I would, there's my 3/4 there. Okay, and if your maths isn't very good, then before you you mark your halfway mark, just put those 2 notches together, and then use those as your guide for where your halfway mark is. So that's going to give me my notches like we just used there. Okay. But I'm going to have my seam allowance folded back and pressed. And so that will go there, like so, okay? And then you will sew that all the way around, okay? And that will come to the other end, which again will be folded back. So that seam there is then folded, and that then goes against your zip on the inside, and then you top stitch that zip in place. So you see it's quite a different way to do that. So you will insert, so there's no turning through, you insert that into your bag, and this is where you're going to want to use your tape. Absolutely unequivocally use your quilter's tape to tape that to the inside of your zip, and that is how you're going to do it. We've kind of run out of time.
Geraldine's asking after you. She says, "What's up with your voice, Natasha? Is it too much paint over the weekend?"
I know, I think it's a little bit that. It's also that I left my drink, and also I did sing in the car most of the way
Excellent.
back.
A combination of self-inflicted things.
La, 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 la. Yeah, no, my drink is left by the sink. I sang in the car all the way home, and yeah, I think that's probably, and just hot weather, I think.
Brilliant.
That's it.
Brilliant.
But no, otherwise in tippity tip-top form. So that's how you make that bag.
It's amazing. It's fabulous.
Yeah.
And it was
Yeah,
an
yeah,
enjoyable make, wasn't it?
It was really lovely. It was
over.
really lovely. And if I'd actually thought I should have done the other side of the bag so that I'd get round to that zip bit, but it really isn't. It just takes a bit of jiggery pokery just to get the tape in place. Get your tape in place, stick it on there, and then just stitch it down, and you'll be fine.
Yes,
Fine.
you will. Just a few little mentions for our YouTubers. Can you say hello to Chris Cresswell, who's
Hello,
new viewer?
Chris.
Newbie.
Hello,
newbie.
Chris. Hello, welcome. Welcome. Who else?
Brenda Rain says,
Morning, Brenda.
bless her, granddaughter spilt waterproof sun cream all over my carpet this morning, so she was a bit late joining us. She's only 16 months, so she can't say anything to her about it.
Oh,
Not
sure if I
yet.
remember.
Not till she's
What
older.
was it you made me buy the other day? A bizzle on Amazon Prime Day.
Did you buy it?
Yeah.
Oh, Spot, yeah.
I was
Clean Tech
painting
Pro.
this weekend and decided that actually the carpets are in good nick and don't need replacing.
Excellent.
So of course I needed the
Spot
Cleaner
Pet
Pro.
Pro Bissell. They're amazing.
Yeah.
Fabulous little machine.
So yeah, I can highly recommend one of those.
Brilliant.
But yeah, Yeah,
And Ali says, if I'm invited to the commune island, I can take on health and safety, having just done a week-long online course.
Amazing.
I can now run a building site, she
Oh,
says.
brilliant.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Which,
that's genius.
that's helpful, isn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
And Julia France
Can you
leaves
imagine
us-
the health and safety breaches there'd be with all of us? Crikey.
Yeah, beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Julia France leaves us with the enduring vision of the fact that her daughter fell in the Thames, alcohol had been consumed, and she was in her new coat. Oh, bless her. Yeah.
Oops. You see, my friend Anna, she just has kids that always fall in rivers. There's always that friend, isn't there, that always has kids that just, wherever there's any kind of anything happening, you just go, and you know, so big splash.
My brother-in-law and sister-in-law's son, George, when we were at
It's just that kid.
family wedding, there was a...
And they're gorgeous, but
there
it's
was
just
a
that kid.
pond, a big pond,
Yeah, it's gonna happen.
absolutely covered in algae,
Yeah.
which he took to be moss/grass.
Yeah.
So
oh,
he
my
ran.
dogs have done that.
He
yeah.
ran to go
Yeah.
across said grass in his very smart suit, because he was a page boy, wasn't he?
Amazing.
And he
Was this before or after the
plastered,
service?
Thankfully, after the service, it was plastered in algae.
Beautiful.
We all laughed.
Yep.
He had to get changed into something very casual for the reception.
Set that tone.
Didn't really impress, but
Never mind.
we laughed.
Yeah, my dogs did that and sunk quite heavily
Oh.
and then stank all the way home. So I feel your pain, but just on a dog base.
It was the look of shock on his face, bless him.
Oh, brilliant.
Because
Yeah.
he really had no idea.
My friend has the other child that does that kind of stuff, that would touch the electric fencing and get a zap.
No.
Comes off the main, so it's quite a
No,
belt.
that's not clever.
And we don't do it again. Dink.
No, you'd think that's
Straight
a
again.
one-time
No.
only thing, wouldn't you?
No,
Yeah.
no, many a time.
There's always that child.
Right, tomorrow,
Tomorrow.
we are launching beautiful new
Tomorrow.
Anna Maria Horner fabrics.
Yep. Yes, we
So
are.
because we know that we love Anna Maria Horner and we love her big prints,
Yes,
we wanted a big make,
we did.
which is going to stand out with these gorgeous big prints.
Mhm.
So
Designed something special, haven't we?
yeah,
It's cool.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
I'm not going to tell you any more.
Nope.
Join us tomorrow for brand new Anna Maria Horner fabrics. Like I say, kits are limited on these. You can make your own there, and if you want us to, we went with Misty Blue, we went with Silver Mink, and we went with Midnight Blue.
And
if you want any of
literally
those in the
2 meters of your outer,
linen.
so 4 units.
Yep, and then
And
two
units,
of
1
the
meter
lining.
of a cotton plain.
Yep, and I
That's
don't
it.
know if that one's gone yet, but that is the blue version
He's a beauty, isn't
of
he?
that. But that's all I've got left, is just enough to one bag.
Tempted to have that one myself.
I know, if it hasn't already gone. Thank you so much for joining us. Guys, the other thing to bear in mind is please do look at the bolt ends. We are continuing to clear. I think I'm just purging, because I'm having to do it with my house at the same time whilst I move. It's like, right, well, in that case, everything is getting cleared. So do make sure bolt ends, perfect for dressmaking, also perfect for your quilt backing. So grab them while you can, so you've got them there ready for when you've finished off your quilts. Or maybe you just have found the fabric that you love that is at a bargain price. So yeah, anything basically with 3 meters or less on the bolts are going in there.
Yeah.
There's a couple that have slipped through because they've got squidge extra, but by the time we've unravelled it and weighed it and measured it, we've gone,
Yeah.
just let it go through. So there we go. We'll see you here tomorrow. Take care. Lots of love. Bye-bye.
Bye.